So one of the things I've been wanting to get into a little more is learning to weave baskets out of cedar bark. My ultimate goal, which I don't know if I'll ever do it, is to make a cedar bark cape. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, here in the spring in the Pacific Northwest, the sap is flowing, and I can ethically, without hurting the tree too much, peel a strip of this bark off all the way up to the top of the tree. So I'm gonna give it a try. What I want to do is find the spot that's got the least branches, and there happens to be this side. It goes all the way up, probably about 50 feet. Okay, so I was a dummy and forgot to press play. But basically I took my saw, cut a slit into the bark. Morse Kohansky said, good survival knife is a pry bar that carves wood really, really well. And right about now, I think I agree with him. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into the business. This is harder than I thought it would be. Pulling off this big tree. I mean, I thought it'd be difficult, but that took some doing. Now, if it works, I should be able to pull a strip off all the way up the tree. Let's see what happens. So, as I understand it, the way you do this is pretty much the same way you would process material for any other kind of fiber. You've got, it's kind of awkward doing this in front of the camera with all this length. You've got the inner bark here, and you've got the outer bark. And you should be able to peel it off. You'll probably have some waste, but so here's the tree after I'm done, and it looks bad, I admit that, but you know what, these trees have been experiencing this for thousands of years. I think we have human population here in Oregon at least 15,000 years ago. So it's a long time. They're used to it. Probably doesn't happen as much anymore, but this tree will be fine, and at some point maybe in the future I'll come back and check on it just to show that, yeah, it's all. So basically, as long as you don't ring it all the way around the tree, this is going to heal up and the tree can keep sending nutrients and stuff to the top of the tree, because that's where it does it at. It transfers it through the bark. So if you were to girdle this tree, which is to strip the bark from all the way around it, it would die. But as you can see, I didn't do that. So cooking with bacon grease. All right, so here's the bark I've got. Probably about 30 feet of cedar bark to take home and work on projects with. You know, a lot of little projects or one big project. Yeah, and it can dry, and I could use this bark next year if I want to. I just have to soak it first. But the way the women would get these out of the woods, because traditionally this was women's work, is they would roll them up according to the book Cedar by Hillary Stewart, that is, which I'm sure is accurate. A lot of good information in her books, by the way. Do the same thing with this guy. But they would actually make backpacks, straps to get these out, but I'm not going to do that today because I'm not getting a whole lot. And then you take another strip. Well, actually, I am doing it right. She said they use the tail end, which this isn't the tail end, but it'll work, to wrap it up in the center like you would a hank of string. All right, so that's that. I'm going to do a few more from different trees around, and I'm going to call it. Appreciate you watching. Have a good one.